Alrighty. Take a look at what we got. I think we're gapped up slightly. Yeah, we are. A little bit. It's not that much. We're kind of flagging here though on the pre-market. 5-minute structure there. I believe on the 4-hour, yeah, we're back at our lower high point, which is nice, I guess. Four-hour lower high point is where we're sitting at right now, and we are technically going to be right at resistance here, at least for me. We did take out the liquidity yesterday, around liquidity at the lows, 674, and then we even took out weekly liquidity at 671, which is quite nice. So definitely expected that we got some buying there. We're trying to flip this a little bit. You could even argue on the daily that we're actually still holding this trend line. Based on the close. Yeah, we're based on the close, we're still holding this trend line. I really didn't think we'd be able to actually buy that move up, but I guess we did. Which I guess is good, but we're still technically inside range, so with us gapping up now, we could actually look for potential upside again if we do not sell the open today. Probably look for upside targets of like 690 potentially. Yeah, like I said, we are sitting at our lower high on a 4-hour, so this could be our spot to reject as well. I don't hate the idea behind it. I guess we'll see off the open. Alright, Q's. I think Q's is gapped up a little bit more than SPY here. Yeah, it looks like it. A similar structure though, we're flagging here at pre-market. We're above previous high of day. Look at the daily. Daily time frame did get bought up here. Although actually on the close, you could kind of see where we technically held this zone, but I don't know, based on how I drew the trend line, it might be wrong how I drew the trend line. But honestly, I think it depends on how you draw this. But it kind of looks like we're kind of like retesting this breakout candle here. Because technically yesterday's candle we opened as a breakout and then it got bought. So yeah, it kind of looks like this could be either the retest or the failed breakout candle here. So I guess yeah, we'll still have to see how we interact today. I know we're gapped up today, so no, we're technically back inside structure here. Never mind. So we actually haven't broken out just yet. And then the 4-hour, I believe it should be also the same with our lower high. Yeah, right at resistance here on the 4-hour. Lower high, so we'd want to see this reject at the open if we wanted to look short today. Have this lower high continue to stay inside structure, and then yeah, kind of just close below probably like 604 is what we'd want to see with this. Yep. And then actually, if we get a breakout, we could probably look for like 609, 610. Yeah, I don't hate that area. 609 area looks pretty good for upside targets if we actually break this above our overnight high. So yeah, above overnight high, we'll look for 609, and then below previous high of day, we'll look for a push back inside of previous day's range. And then first target probably is going to be 600 flat on QQQ. Yeah, I like that. It makes sense. I know we have imbalances sitting below, so yeah, 600 makes sense for downside target there. Apple on the daily still looks good for lower actually, based on how we closed. Uh, Kind of a flat day yesterday, but we kind of initiated our breakout candle. So yeah, I still kind of like this down to 256 here overall. 4 hours kind of setting up. Yeah, we're still range bound, stuck in previous day's range here still. But looks like we're setting up, possibly coiling here. Maybe something like this. Looks pretty good, I think. So we could actually see a little bit more upside potential and then sell, and just continue to be inside range, create a lower high, equal lows, and then a break below 260 would initiate our downside move down to 256. Microsoft still holding this GP here. Kind of still stuck in range as well, actually. Looking at this, it actually doesn't look too bad though for break higher, but yeah, we have liquidity to take out at previous week's high, 407.34. So we have that just slightly above us, but on this 4 hour, it looks like we're kind of setting up in a new type of trend here. Higher low, higher high, or a slight higher high. So we could see possible wick above overnight high, take out previous week's high, reject, and then continue to be range bound here. I kind of like that structure there. Yeah, and we have a large imbalance to fill below us. But yeah, this ticker is technically at resistance here, and then above previous week high, we'll probably look for like even higher, again up to like 415 or so. Take a look at Google. I don't think Google moved much, honestly. Yeah, oh no, it's actually up a little bit, right? Up slightly, yeah. Up slightly there. Daily on Google. Still sitting at that, I guess, kind of H setup here. It still looks good, actually. We did get some buying, though, off that 300 level again. We tried to pull below. We didn't run that liquidity on the daily at 296 like I wanted to, but looks like we came really close. Came really close to taking that out, but we did not. Holding equal lows for right now, but head and shoulder is technically still intact. So I think on a 4 hour, this is actually similar structure to like the other tickers across the board. We're in just like that 4 hour lower high here. So we could see maybe a little bit more upside potential, I think, and then possibly reject to create this lower high. Yeah, we should have a little bit more room here on Google. I guess my target would be 306 here. 306 on Google, so another like $1.50 move up, and then reject. Nvidia is gapped up a decent amount actually, $2. $2 gap up here on Nvidia. Let's go to the daily first. Daily time frame here. Still stuck in the zone here. We haven't really moved. It's a wide area, but 174 to 181 is kind of a tight area for me. Not really a whole lot of movement here, to be honest, but 4 hour looks like we might be setting up in some type of range here. This is technically resistance here at 182, 183 area. Have this overhead imbalance that's sitting just above us that we're technically using as resistance here. So break above 182, or I guess 183, break above 183 would look for the fill of this 4 hour imbalance up to 185. Otherwise, you could probably maybe continue to respect this level and then create, I guess, similar structure to the rest of the tickers, like, you know, higher low, or sorry, lower high, higher low. Maybe just continue to base here a bit. Especially after this war news. I mean, this sold down pretty hard. You can maybe set up in a flag here, I guess. Consolidate for, what's today, Wednesday. You can consolidate for 2 more days. It makes sense. We have the room to consolidate for 2 more days on Nvidia, and then we'll probably get our catalyst on Friday, which will initiate our breakout with NFP. Right? Yeah, NFP. NFP on Friday. That'll be our catalyst for the breakout of this flag. If we decide to consolidate and then be a little bit more range bound until data. I don't hate that idea. Meta 4 hours should be the exact same, yeah. Still range bound. Sitting now right at the upper end of the range here, so technically right at resistance. We have room to wick above here though. It's not like we can't. 660 is possible here, still on meta. So I think we could see like maybe some slight upside potential, but I think our overall upside potential is quite limited compared to our downside. So we'll most likely, I think, be looking short today unless we actually initiate a breakout above these levels. And as you can see across the board, the structure is very, very similar across all tickers here. Technically on draw this from the close. I mean, I guess with AVGO here, it kind of looks like we're breaking out based on the candle close, like the way I have it drawn like this, but I'm still not fully convinced by this breakout. I probably would want to actually bring it up a bit to like the wicks here. This makes a little bit more sense to me. So a break above this range here on AVGO would have to be a break above 320 or 321. A break above 321 would probably initiate my idea for upside. So we'll have this small imbalance there. they would probably look to target. So above 321, we'll look for 325, and then I have another level at 331. That would probably be final target for this upside move. Otherwise, we're still range bound. We could sell the open, maybe even wick above, similar to other structures. Wick above, sell this, and then just go back to the lower end of the range. We're down to overnight low. Yep. They have earnings today, actually. Oh, after hours today. AVGOS earnings today after hours. Should be interesting. I think sizing will be the same today as well. I think we'll probably do 10 contracts for the rest of the week, to be honest. I don't think we're gonna go down in size at all, or go lower, or go back to regular size this week. We'll probably stay on 10 contracts this week with 40-point stop still, which I think should still be okay. I think yesterday was the most volatile day of the week so far, but who knows, maybe we'll still have to see what today, but when we have 9:45 PMI and ISM at 10. So we'll be waiting today until 10 to take anything, most likely. Well, at least I'd like to anyways. We'll see. We can maybe look for a position after PMI 9:45.
Alex, if you see daily on NASDAQ,
Mm-hmm.
I think we're making a double bottom on it. We just did a double bottom on that. I think we might target higher. The level that we did it yesterday. Did you see that? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still holding the structure there. So he
Mhm.
kind of broke out, sold. I mean, this candle here technically sold lower here. So I guess we'd still have to see how we interact here, but for me, I probably wouldn't look long until we're above 25,000. Or we could see slight like I think our upside potential here is at least limited, I think. Maybe I'm wrong though. I could see us pulling up to like 25,000, like 60 or 70, and then continuing to sell, but
Yeah.
unless this is a true double bottom and not kind of like this range that we're setting up in. It's technically still an M setup, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could still get sold on the close lower if we do actually want to look for a breakdown. But 4 hour does kind of look good here for at least some upside push. Yeah, break above 24,977 I think would be my area to kind of look long up to 25K. 5 minute flag is breaking out though here. Trying to anyways. And like I said, we'll give it some time here. We should be doing a volatility gauge at the beginning of every day based on current market conditions, that is. We should have room here. We should have room for upside here. No, Rich, we'll be on 10 contracts this whole week. I'm not gonna bother changing in the middle of the week. It'll throw off our P&L if we take a red day. By a lot, actually. It'll throw off our P&L by a lot, so we'll stay 10 contracts, 40 point stop. We'll do that for the rest of the week until volatility kind of cools down a bit. Nice push here. Break above overnight high. 5-minute flag broke out for upside on a close there. Tech a lot stronger though for right now. Meta kind of leading this. Keep an eye on Netflix as well. Netflix actually is near TP. Just about $100 here. I think we might be able to get that today actually. If we get that push up to $100, I'll sell my position. I think that'll be like 20 something percent on the shares. So that's actually pretty nice. It's kind of a big candle. Wow, that move kind of got sold. Look at Apple here. Massive candle. We didn't tap into my level yet. I had a level at 70 something. 977 I had a level up, but I sold really aggressively. And keep in mind, we are opening up technically right at resistance here. This is resistance on 4-hour time frame. This is technically the retest of the flag, though. If we were looking long, we would have longed off view up, and the flag retest here would stop probably below previous high of day, most likely, if you're looking upside. It's going to be important how we close here, I think. SPY's a lot weaker here, for sure. Retest is trying to hold, though. At least on Qs anyways, but tickers are mixed, at least for me, 50-50. Data in 5 minutes as well, 9:45 PMI. Trying to actually sell this a little bit. Some tickers don't look great here, actually. Oh yeah, Netflix almost at 100. You're right, Carlos. Yes. Great push there. I don't mind taking this, but I kind of want 100 psych. If I want to be picky. Nice momentum though off that opening drive. I should be able to get that draw into it. I'm gonna get ready to actually sell that. No, 40 cents will not make or break me, but 40 cents will make or break me when it's, you know, a lot of shares. Realistically, it won't make or break. To be honest, it's kind of more of like a percentage thing. How many shares do I have? 1,200 shares? Yeah, 40 cents will break you when it's 1,200 shares. It's like 500 bucks actually. The extra 40 cents is like 500 bucks. And 100's a nice level, either way. That's our target. Actually, let's actually look at the chart while we wait for data. What was my Netflix target? I don't even remember the chart I posted. Did I post the chart for Netflix? I thought I did. I did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, BPR. That's what it was. Okay. Retrace 40% from the highs into demand. Nice bounce. And now we have a weekly BPR overhead us. Oh, here's the structure. You guys can see it here. So demand here off of wow, that was beautiful. If we bought a little bit lower, if we waited like another week or so, you could have gotten a really nice entry in the 70s, but it is what it is. Weekly BPR here is going to be our take profit, which is going to be between 100 and 103 as my upside target. No, there was red. I had an 83 entry. I bought at 83. I was going to size in at like 75 or something like that. But I kind of just didn't. I definitely should have though. We're in a nice wedge though. Like, I'm thinking like this actually is not a bad spot to actually take profit because this is the higher high on the 4-hour. If we look at the 4-hour, this is technically resistance where we should be taking profit at, but I'm looking for a slight, wick above here and then reject. Otherwise, if we could actually squeeze above 100, this has actually a lot more room than I think possibly. But I think $100 is a reasonable target. Pulled in a new low there. We're actually trying to hold this previous high of day here. SPY sold a lot more though. Definitely a lot weaker for sure. And we did just have 9:45 PMI get released there. Did not move. Let's see if we get some buying here or not. I was actually also thinking of adding some swings for downside. I think overall we could possibly still pull a bit lower on a bigger time frame. So I was thinking of adding some swings now that we've actually retraced near these highs here. Possibly. I don't know. Just an idea. Because if we actually look on the 4-hour, the idea behind the swing is that we would look to reject this lower high on the 4-hour and then target back below, 600 here basically is the idea behind the swing. So it really just depends on how we close on a 4-hour, but yeah, you kind of would look to take it here as a reversal and then target technically a new lower low. 591, I guess, or I don't know, 580 if you're feeling ambitious, I guess, but Tickers have support here. Pretty big buy up there, actually. 940 retest, fill the 1 minute imbalance here. Trying to reject it. I think that's a 1 minute GP as well. One minute GP and imbalance. Tap there. Overnight high retest as well. That's actually not a bad short spot. Yeah, I think our levels we're going to be in between are going to be between previous high of day and overnight high. It's going to be our breakout levels, I guess, on both sides. Above overnight high, we'll look for upside, and then below previous high of day, we'll look to go back range bound and look for some more downside. So we'll probably wait for data though, most likely at 10. I'm also not really seeing anything just yet, because tickers are kind of 50-50 here. At least for me, some look good for upside, some are good for lower. I'm honestly kind of want to say this looks good for a bit higher. Not gonna lie. At least based on how we're setting up for right now. Pulling up here still. Tickers look decent. They don't look really bad right now. Netflix curling back up. Back above 99 here. Let me leave the chart open for that. Let's watch this. If this could like flag here, this would be beautiful and then set up for a break high. Yep. Looks quite good actually. I was hoping we would be able to get a sell this week on CVX after that gap up, but it kind of gave up its whole entire move. Because we did tap into 200, but that was during the overnight session, and then off the open, we kind of just sold, so a bit unfortunate we missed that exit there and did not get to sell at that target, but it's fine. Selling a little bit. It's still GP here, I think, that we're holding. Yeah. 78.6 rejection, same with the 1 minute bounce, and then overnight high still, but like I said, tickers don't look necessarily bad right now. Yeah, looks like we're just range bound for right now from opening price. Like I said, levels are going to be the same. Above overnight high, we should see higher. Alright, you know what? While we wait for data, I will be back really quick. Alright, we got our news candle. We're popping up above an overnight high. Yeah, new high of day came in. Now we can look for a trade. I'd say we are more likely to pull highs here. At least up to 25k. Minimum 25k, I'd say. What did I say my level was? Like 25,070 or something like that. I'm actually gonna prepare my my option swing here that I'm thinking of taking. Okay, I got filled on my QQQ position. For swings, approximately 3 weeks out, just about. That is a position. I think it's a decent entry, I'd say. Ticker sold that pop there, though. Five-minute candle closed above overnight high there. But that, I don't really like that wick, how it got sold like that. I'm not the biggest fan of tickers either anymore, to be honest. Yeah, they are still technically as support here across the board. I don't know. Netflix is flagging though. I think we'll be able to get $100 today on Netflix. We did tap into my level though of resistance at 977. Popping up here. Should get 25k here. Almost there, almost there. I was gonna edge 25k? No way. Should be fine. We should get it. There it is, 25k. We're almost at my target here for upside based on the flag pull target. $15-minute flag pull target is up to basically where we're at right now, 25.0, like 13, 14 area. AVGO technically at resistance here. Should have a little bit more room up to 320 though. Should see a little bit more upside here. Flagpole TP is about to hit here in a second. SPY almost at my upside target here as well. We put a new high of day, took that liquidity from opening price. Have a level coming up at basically 684 here. That was fast. Very quick rejection there. We're literally like 2 or 3 points from taking out that target for me. Maybe I was being a bit picky with the entry, but could still get bought here. Let's see. Getting a little bit more buying here. I want one more leg up. Want one more push above these highs. There we go. Flagpole TP just got hit. Now let's see how we interact at these levels here. Nice push here. So far, so good. Coming into the levels that I want. Only thing I'm wondering is if we'll actually be able to take out liquidity on the 4 hour up to 25,100. It's kind of what I'm wondering here, if we'll do that or not. Looks pretty strong though overall for right now. We have liquidity at 25,100 here. Multiple points of liquidity at 25,100. Yeah, we ran through that flagpole target. Very nice breakout. Almost at my next level here. Just stick to whatever you've been doing this week. No need to change it in the middle of the week. Technically, all it takes is one day to throw off your overall profits, especially if it's red when you've increased size. We're stalling here a little bit. Really close to my level though. I do want us to take this level out. Yeah, it kind of was a nice long actually. Maybe we should have just longed it. That close above overnight high was quite nice actually. Getting more of a push here. Think there's that liquidity on the 4 hour maybe? Really close. 5 points away. Come on. There it is. Alright, liquidity just got ran there. Probably gonna take this here. Reversal off liquidity. Still have a little bit of room here. Alright. I'm in my shorts now. At a 25, 1, 2, 3. 40-point stop. Stop is at 63.5. I'm gonna look to target just the retest here. Slight retracement. Probably down to 25,040 or so, I think. Ticker should be right around resistance here. So we're just looking for the retracement here. I wonder if we could run a little bit of a tighter stop actually on this move. I feel like we low-key could. But yeah, overall idea with this trade is that we ran liquidity on the 4-hour. We're just gonna look for the retracement, slight retracement down. I'm a bit concerned about this imbalance on the 4-hour because that's actually what we're sitting in right now. We have an imbalance to fill, actually up to 180, 25, 180. So that is my only concern about this short here. Which I'm not in love with, but I think it's fine. Yeah, it's a little bit scary here. If you want, you could probably wait. If you want to wait for a little bit better confirmation rather than just taking the immediate reversal. It's definitely, not invalid to do so. You definitely could do that. Wait for a little bit confirmation, have price stall a little bit longer, and then look to take it.
CVD on NQs is like, never mind.
Unless this gets squeezed straight above here. Straight above the liquidity and just goes straight for the imbalance fill. Which is possible as well. But yeah, I do have some tickers at resistance here, so. I guess first TP could be down to 25,081. And then, yeah, final one would be 25,030 or so. Kind of around there. Makes sense to me.
Um, 4-hour resistance on what indicator were we looking at?
I'm looking at the bigger time frame.
So, okay.
Well, we ran the liquidity. We're right around the 200 EMA here. But looking at tickers, I have Microsoft here right around overnight high. Google at overnight high. It's technically above, but we could still kind of curl down back below that. Nvidia overnight high, trend line, all on the bigger. This is all technically bigger structured resistance here. So it may take some time to develop. And then weekly liquidity on AVGO here at 321 here. And also after that, pull up from basically, what is it, 945 since PMI. We haven't really had any type of real retracement, so I would like to see us price at least retrace a little bit more, and then if it wants to continue, have it go. But this overall is my first kind of like little retracement area that I would look for. Maybe entry could have been a little bit better, but halfway fill of the imbalance is right around 40. 123 is not no 123 is not terrible. It's just I'm worried about this 4-hour imbalance that we're sitting in here. It should be fine though. We also have a 1 minute imbalance down to 25,095. And we have some smaller ones down. Yeah, we have a couple actually. We have a couple sitting below us. But obviously, we're gonna try and look for 1R here, most likely. It's about 40 points, give or take. This could potentially be Hive Day if it really wants to, and we will actually do want to be range bound for today. I think R to R here is pretty good in my opinion. So the ID here is, yeah, if tickers reject here, we should be able to retrace at least a little bit of this move. And then if tickers actually flip, like Microsoft here, we have a higher low holding above view up. If we actually lose this higher low, get below view up, that might be able to sell down a little bit. Apple here should be sitting at GP, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of. 61.8, but it's sitting at the trend line though there. That doesn't look terrible to me. Google, yep, recaptured back below overnight high there. I could pull down to 303 maybe. Nvidia rejected, overnight high, upper trend line there. Oh wow, that count was quick. That was near TP1. We filled, getting close to filling the 1 minute imbalance. Like I said, TP1's going to be down to the 80s or so. We could look for a 1-to-1 R and then put our stop at the new high of day. I think even new high of day right now is actually kind of valid. Probably wouldn't want to see that happen. Just to tighten it maybe a little bit, I guess. It's not bad. But 25,100 there we just tapped into. So kind of a psych level there. But I'm not going to touch anything just yet. I don't think anyone got a better entry than me, did they? Or waited to get a better entry? Maybe not.
Nah, I have your exact entry. I kind of wanted to wait though, but I just took it.
For this to actually flip, I think we need to clear below this imbalance on the 1 minute. Currently holding it for right now, which I don't really love too much. Waiting for tickers to give this flip. We're not really seeing any real selling yet. Nvidia is the one that's driving this pull down. Same with Google. Waiting for other tickers to give a flip here though, if possible. This looks good though. We might be able to get our first trim here. Yeah, this is gonna be our first trim here, guys. Potentially. Potentially. Come on. There we go. Feel free to trim right there, guys. Almost 40 points for me. I want to get a minimum of 1-to-1 here, so I'm going to wait for that 40 to take my trim. There it is. There it is. Take your trims there, guys. Take your trims. I did trim as well. Took my trim. I'm going to move my stop loss as a new high of day. New high of day as our stop. Minimize some risk. I got an 81. 81 trim there. Not bad. Not bad. I closed half, by the way. I closed half. This is technically a risk-free trade now, guys. We could do whatever we want. If this can be high of day, though, this would be a really... This should deliver a nice retracement. Take a look at Microsoft here. Microsoft is actually trying to lose this VWAP level. If we lose that VWAP level and structure breaks, this should give us a nice pull down, yeah. Should maybe start scaling more. Nice push here. There we go. Alright, I took another trim right there. I'm out. Some more. Beautiful. Do whatever you want.
Hey, Alex, quick question on your QQQ chart. I might have missed the 609.85 that you
Yes.
have up there. What is that? Which line is that? Or
This
which
is a weekly level that I have on the bigger time frame. It's based on this area right here, I believe, on
okay.
NQ. So all we did right there was just wick above. So I'm
Yeah.
looking for this structure to come back inside and
Come
hold this kind of zone here.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm out most. I'm just gonna run break-even stops, guys. I'm out most. I'm gonna run break-even stops and then see if we can get some extra runners here. This might be my exit here, maybe. 62 is quite nice, actually. Microsoft trying to break this structure here. We still have time on a 5-minute close, but tickers are retracing how I want it to, which is good. Break even might be tight here, though. I will say that we could possibly get bought back up to the like 100 area and then actually have this flip. Might take out some more here, even get out full. If we get one more push lower. That's all we were really looking for, though. We tapped into the first 5-minute imbalance that's sitting below us. We could have that as our final take profit at 608.5 on QQQ. But that's, for the most part, what I was kind of looking for with this trade. If we could get more, great. Tickers are setting up, I guess, kind of nicely here. There's still time on the close. Google could pull down, yeah, Google could put down to VWAP 303. Microsoft is trying to break from that that little wedge we're sitting in. If Apple could flip, reject GP, 61.8. Nvidia could pull down to VWAP. It looks kind of good here, I say. This is 60 points, guys. Feel free to take all over 1R there. I kind of want to take this fully. I might look for this imbalance here. Oh yeah, there we go. There's my exit. Yeah, that's a 9 EMA right there. I didn't get my fill though. That popped down too quick. Nine EMA on SPY and oh, here we go. All right, I'm fully out there, guys. I'm out. Wow, let's go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Had a 45 exit there. I'll take that. Let's go. Let's go. That worked out perfectly. Patience pays. Patience pays. Let's go. Yeah, honestly, we didn't even need to run a 30-point stop, I don't think, right? No, we didn't even have to run. I guess it would have worked out better for us anyways as the reversal, but I guess it's fine. I mean, the reversal move was pretty generous, even if we didn't exactly catch top tick. It was pretty close. Could have waited maybe like a few more minutes. Because yeah, like I said, at least for me, that entry was based on kind of like the push above the liquidity. So that's why I got that 123 entry. We started to consolidate here though, like between what 1029 to like 1033 is when we started to consolidate. So that probably would have been your entry there a bit. To take the short. So yeah, it would have given you about like, I don't know, not that big of a difference, like 5-10 points better maybe in terms of entry, but yeah, overall targets I think were the same here for this downside move. Very happy with that though. Questions on that setup there?
So were you just looking at the liquidity swap on 4 hours
Yep.
to get filled before you sort it, right?
Yep, exactly that.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, just a liquidity sweep. You know, we got a wick above. You know, we usually whenever we get a liquidity sweep on a bigger time frame, I usually won't look to short immediately off of the liquidity, but we'll usually wait for a slight draw above. And I know we've talked about that before, but usually the draw above can be like, 10 to 25 points above. And that's technically on a regular trading day. I guess with today, it does make sense that we pulled almost 50 points above because we kind of have, a higher ATR, which means that our overall drawn liquidity is going to be a little bit higher. So, right? Does that make sense? I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess maybe we could have waited a little bit. Like I said, maybe 5-10 points. It's not going to be the end of the world, but technically on the higher ATR, we should be looking for a little bit of a bigger draw. Maybe bumping that 12 to 25 point draw above liquidity to maybe like 25 to like 30 or 40 points draw above liquidity, and then take the position. But yeah, just waited for that. And then tickers, yeah, aligned all at resistance there. Nvidia tapped into the upper trend line right at overnight high. Apple golden pocket, as well as the trend line as well on the bigger time frame. Tapped into the upper end of resistance, ran to targets. Microsoft upper trend line as well. Like I said, the structure across the board with all tickers was basically the exact same, right? We're all in like just a little bit of a larger range on the 4 hour, but yeah, all of them were kind of sitting at that resistance after this, morning drive up. So walked into resistance there, and we just shorted, um, technically near the highs. Um, and then yeah, Microsoft rejected, kind of broke down from that wedge a little bit, which was nice. Google recaptured back below overnight high, and yeah, all tickers at resistance. They rejected, and then that was enough for us to get our slight pullback.
Do you still like upside or downside, Alex?
This
Hello.
could potentially set up for a bit higher, actually.
Oh my God,
we
Philip
missed
is
you.
back.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh, you lagged.
I
You
was
lagged.
wondering where the goat was.
The goat.
No, I missed such a good week. Uh,
This is our revenge for you leaving us.
Yep. Yep.
I'm not
Well,
leaving you guys.
but you'll be back next week, though, right?
I'm not
Philip?
sure when. I'm not sure when.
Yeah.
It's alright. But yeah, now that we got our kind of retracement, this could maybe set up for higher still. I mean, we're technically trying to break structure on a 4 hour, right? We got our wick above, but we're trying to sell it, so this is kind of the unknown now. I think our moves for today are done. I think anything from here on out is maybe a little bit unknown, because we could actually come back, continue to reject this, and then, sit below this. Otherwise, if we actually get a close above, 25,100 on the 4 hour, it probably could look good for higher. Fill the 4 hour imbalance and then come up to 25,300 area. Let's see. Why didn't I long 25,040? Where is that at? 25,040 is not enough R to R there for me, honestly. That's about it. It's technically trading the breakout. The only real long opportunity that I saw was probably directly at 1010 on this 5-minute candle retest at the highs. So we got a nice candle break above that 24,000 like 977 area. We had a slight retracement down to 24,960. So you would have longed in like the 60 to 70 area, targeting 25,000, at least for me. And then I guess if you're really ambitious, you could have looked for that final target, the liquidity on the 4 hour structure, which would have been, like I said, up to our 25,100 if you're feeling ambitious about that. But realistically, for me, that was kind of my only long spot in the 960 to 970 area, up to 25,000. But I mean, I guess it makes sense though. Once we actually cleared that 25,000, we could have continued higher. But 940, I think the R to R was maybe not the greatest there for me. Tickers did look good though, I'll say that. They did look good, so I guess it would have worked either way, but yeah. That's that.
It's nice to see you having a nice time. Oh,
Thank you.
Bitcoin bumped quite a lot. Yeah,
Did it?
almost 7% today. Yeah.
Ooh, is that our entry opportunity then?
It pumped. It's at 73k.
Oh, it's 7. Oh, it's up 7%. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, how's work, Philip?
Hard.
Hard, yeah.